Today, I want to get into Taeyang talking about a story and then him apologizing to Jimin. I also wanted to get into some fans upset about Taeyang and Jimin's new song Vibe and what happened there. And of course, a deleted post that apparently RM deleted. So hey dumplings, it's Dave Desai. Hater or not, make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell on. Grab your dumplings, he's spilling mug merch, and let's go. RM has been doing very well as a solo artist in the last few weeks, or whenever the album came out. Indigo has entered the Billboard Top 3 and apparently spent 3 weeks on the Top 40. That is super impressive. I think he was one of the first Korean soloists to do that. I can't verify those numbers as I unfortunately did not tune into the charts every day. But what I like about his album and the promo for the album was how raw and real it is. RM gives his very honest views and opinions on his life and talks about how he was scared to go mainstream or make this mainstream type of music. And we can actually see that in the album as well, with the very different sounds he incorporates in them. And he even has songs like Lonely, which is very sad but very real, and I think a lot of us can relate to those lyrics. I do react to the live performance as well as just the studio recording on Patreon. If you would like to go over there and fangirl with me, there is a limited $1 tier that is open. I will link it below. Hope to see you there. But RM has been promoting it a lot, and he actually posted about a GQ article that had written about his album and how good it is. According to GQ, the album is an editor's pick, which is so cool. I think GQ has a lot more mature readers and audiences, and I honestly think they will find the album very good. It's definitely an album for all ages and definitely an older audience, as it's not completely a mainstream pop. However, the post was deleted very soon after, or at least it was assumed that this was the post that RM deleted, because some people were saying that one of his recent stories was coming up as an error. So likely, if this occurred, then people were just clicking on his story the moment he had just deleted it. Because if he deletes it and then 10 minutes later you click on the story, you just won't see anything. No error, nothing. But anywho, this is a theory, so take it as you will. Some people were wondering why he would delete a GQ article about his album, and I actually have some theories. I personally believe it was because Taeyang and Jimin's song was about to drop and he didn't want to post a promo of himself before posting one of Taeyang and Jimin. The fandoms can get a bit angry at the other members when the members don't support each other fully. While they can literally call and give support over the phone or even over dinner, it's when it's not done publicly that the supporters get mad on behalf of the artist. I think a lot of people lately are oversensitive for other people rather than themselves, and that's good and bad, right? But people often think when the members don't wish the other members happy birthday or happy release day, that this means that the other members are not supportive or secretly jealous, and they may even receive comments like, oh, you're secretly jealous of so-and-so member's success. That's why you didn't post about it. Meanwhile, they could be at lunch with them and congratulating them. I think people were very shocked over the collaboration between Taeyang and Jimin. Their song Vibe just dropped. It has been a vibe. They sound really good together, and I will be reacting to the video on Patreon, so make sure to check that out as well. But I'll get into the song a little bit later. I wanted to talk about Taeyang doing press for the song and what he said about Jimin. He did an interview talking about when the collaboration came out, and he had apparently asked if Jimin wanted to be part of the song. The song was in the making for a few years, and I guess they felt like the song needed an extra pizzazz, and they wanted Jimin to add those touches. A lot of times artists will have a feature not because they want views, but because the artist that they feature can add a layer to the song that will make the song less boring. A lot of artists will listen to their own song 50 times over and then get bored of it, in which case they'll bring another artist to feature in, which is why a lot of songs with features still have the original where the original artist sings the whole thing. And picking an artist that is popular is great because the artist already has a track record to show that their voice is not boring. See what I mean? It can genuinely be about creating the best music and not just about views. Taeyang in this interview talked about when Jimin said yes to the collaboration. Taeyang went ahead and made a group chat and added Jimin. They organized a lunch together, and when Taeyang met this Jimin, he realized that he had added the wrong Jimin to the group chat, and that this Jimin that he went to lunch with was someone else with the same name. I think this story is so funny, but this also means that this alleged second Jimin is either also a musician or singer. I can't imagine if in the group chat Taeyang was like, let's make a song together, and a Jimin who was not musically inclined would have said yes. So it's very interesting to me that it was someone with the same name and also a singer or producer. But that was not all that was shared. Apparently Taeyang talked about how he had worked on the song with producer Teddy, Kush, and 24, and apparently Teddy was the one that suggested Jimin. They had originally picked a song for Jimin, but Teddy said that the song they picked was not good, and decided that the song Vibe would be better for Jimin to jump on. And all this apparently was told to Taeyang right as Jimin was coming to the studio to record. So Teddy actually had to apologize to Jimin and let Jimin know that the song was not ready, as Vibe was not ready yet. So Jimin actually went to the studio that day for no reason. I can imagine it would be frustrating if Jimin had a lot to do that day, but these things happen all the time. And Jimin is probably used to it. But it was interesting to hear that Taeyang had to apologize over something like that. I think the image that Big Bang tends to give off is them being a rude boy or maybe a rough boy or something like that. But for the most part, the members seem to be sweet and kind and polite. The song Vibe is absolutely beautiful, and I can totally see why it would have taken so long to get it done. The energies and vocals of the song are indescribable. It's very pop, but it's also very different. And then also Jimin's voice is very different here. Jimin in BTS tends to be the high note, and he often hits at more of the higher parts of the voice. But in this song, it seems like he is using more chest voice. This is not a bad thing. It's just I've never heard his full voice like that. I don't think so. So it's just another layer that Jimin has. People were very upset over the collaboration to begin with, and the internet started to flood with comments saying that Jimin actually carried the song and that he was the one that makes the song good. Now actually, objectively, you can't possibly think that Taeyang's voice is bad. Like if you did not know it was him and you just listened, you're telling me that that's a bad voice? He sings really well and his voice is amazing. Jimin adds to the song, but it is Taeyang's song, and the added contribution from Jimin is wonderful, but Taeyang is his own artist and can still succeed without help from other artists. It's tough seeing people asking Taeyang to remove his voice from the song and that Jimin should just be there. I don't like these comments at all, because the song would not exist without the creative efforts of Taeyang, and Jimin probably wouldn't make a song like this, as this may not be his vibe. See what I did there? So the song only exists because of Taeyang. I'm not upset at the collaboration, because even if you don't like Taeyang, both Taeyang and Jimin are expected to be performing together at shows with this song. So we will still see more Taeyang and Jimin performances live. That is always fun, and I love that part of this collaboration. Doing a collaboration is a lot of fun for an artist, as they don't have to worry about how good or bad the future is. The pressure is completely off them, and they can just perform and enjoy the music part of making music. And people were definitely wondering what Taeyang's reaction might be to all these hate comments towards him over this song. And I'd love to say artists don't typically care, but it's just not true. We've had an instance in which Top from Big Bang received some hate where everyone told him to reflect on his wrongdoings and not come back to the industry. Top had a bit of a marijuana scandal, and this is definitely considered a big deal in Korea. I don't think he should have gotten the backlash for it, and I definitely don't think he should have been bullied so heavily for something he likely regrets doing. Top allegedly responded back to his Instagram comment to basically say that he is not thinking of coming back or hasn't thought about it. Allegedly, he also deleted the comment, but netizens had some comments to say back. People were saying that good, he should not think about it, or that since he has had enough money, he should just go ahead and retire. These are very strong comments and opinions, and as you can tell, if that reply Top gave was real, he would be bothered by the hate. And even someone at his level finds it quite difficult to ignore the hate. Now, every time Taeyang goes online to the ARMY side of the fandom, he sees all these hate comments on him. That is tough, because he actually hasn't really done anything wrong. It's just that he is in a group that apparently has had fan wars with ARMY, but just because there's fan wars, please don't hate the artist. And don't even hate the fandom, just hate those few people who are evil. Let me know what you think. Make sure you check out my Patreon for more videos, link down below. Thanks for this lovely comment right here. Love you, bye.